What's up? It's Naomi, the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Wip Chat. So I'm not diamond painting. I promise I will eventually get to diamond painting, but I have to sew this moose onto this, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But like I said, I promise I will get back to diamond painting. I promise. Oh my goodness, where are my manners? How are you guys today? I hope you are doing fabulous and wonderful. So let's get into it, shall we? Right? Why not? All right, so kind of bear with me because I'm going to have to be weaving in ends. And I don't know if you remember the last time I did this where this was kind of like a pain in the butt, but I've made one before, so I kind of got a game plan. Yeah, all that. I got to clear off this. I need to clean up my craft room. When I say, like, it's bad. I just have this stuff I don't even use. So I'm like, why am I holding on to it? And I'm like, what? Are you afraid you're going to, like, need it? Come on. We all know. We'll just go out and buy more. So I just need to throw a lot of crap away. That's what I need to do. So let's get into this, shall we? So last week, where did we leave off? Oh, so last Thursday, right? So the conversations I have with my boss, I tell you, like, I don't even know where. I don't even know how we get on the topics half the time, right? But what were we talking about Thursday? Oh, we were talking about like how everyone's been working hard, you know, and it's just, like I said, there's things going on with work. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, well, don't worry. I'm like, I got everybody's back. And he laughed. And I'm like, what's so funny, you know? And he's like, look, he's like, I may be Polish, and nothing against any Polish people. These are his words, not mine, all right? He said, I may be Polish, but I'd rather have you in the front. He's like, because you'll just take them all out before it even happens. And I was like, oh my gosh, Dan. Like, I'm trying to be, you know, like, getting back to, like, my positive, like, non-violent side. And he's over here just, like, tossing me back in it. I'm like, no, Dan, no. I'm trying to find a freaking needle that is going to fit this thick yarn. So, yeah, if you guys don't remember the original, like, Whoopie that I made for a moose, so if you guys are new, this is like the little Whoopie that I made for my one niece, Moose. Hence the moose. I just like sew the moose's butt onto the blanket. And it's just like a little, yeah, whatever. So I had made 4 for Chicky Nuggy, you know, so that way she never had to go find Bunny again. And with that one, I just chopped the bunny heads off of stuffed animals, which was really easy to sew on. This moose is going to be a pain in the butt. And this yarn is like extra soft, so it's like thicker and all that. It's going to be fun. Alrighty. So, oh, and then exciting news. Oh, I'm so happy. I don't know, well, I know the weekend. But I might be gone. I don't know if I'm going to be leaving Thursday, coming back Monday, or leaving Friday, coming back Monday. Like, I gotta talk to my boss. But I talked to my sister-in-law, and she finally got a date for the girls' christening. So I'm like, woo, I'm ready. So we've been like talking back and forth, like, oh, I can't wait, you know. And she's, oh, when I say, like, I have a freaking amazing sister-in-law. Like, amazing. I freaking love her to pieces. Like, if something were to ever happen, it's going to be like my other sister-in-law. I get to keep her. My brother can go kick rocks because he'd be a dumb fool, right? I'm just saying, right? So, you know, and my sister-in-law, I don't know, like, I guess it's, like, nice when you can be friends, you know, like, with your sister-in-law and all that. Because like I said, the last time I was there, she turned around to my brother and was like, do we have to let her go? And that made me feel love. So yeah, so I'm going to be flying out. I'm flying to, I don't know if I'm flying to Philly or if I'm flying to Trenton. I don't know all that. We haven't 100% worked that all out yet. But yeah, so I can't freaking wait. I can't freaking wait. And then let's see, what else has been going on in my lovely life? Oh, I gotta put this down. So Friday, right? So Friday I go to the bank. Gabriel is off, right? But this is why I need to put this down. So before I get to this, because I forgot to mention this last week. I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but we need to go congratulate Gabriel because he is now engaged. His girlfriend said yes. The little booger didn't even tell me. I was like, oh, you dirty bird, right? He's learning, right? So hopefully, since they're now, going to get married, she will move down here. And Gabriel can stay at the branch he's at. And then, she can be happy with Gabriel. Gabriel can be happy with her. And I can be happy going to the branch and just being in and out. Right? Everybody wins. See? Thinking positive. I don't know what is wrong with me, guys. Like, oh my gosh. My brain, honestly, I don't even know. But so anyway. So on Friday, right? I was not very positive. Like, it started off that way. Like, when I say, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm rainbows and butterflies all the time. Like, get real, right? Get real. Like, that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. But, like, I wake up and like I've been saying, like, whenever I, start thinking negative, I just try to, think of something positive, spin it, try it. I'm telling you guys, try it. Like, you won't always catch yourself, but if you start being aware, you can start making changes. So I go to the bank, right? Now, Gabriel told me, right? He let me know this time. He did let me know that he was going to be off on Friday. So I get there. Now, please explain to me why, right? Why, on a Friday, of all freaking days, they decide they're only going to have one teller. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? It is what it is, so I'm standing in line. And when I say, like, the line didn't move, like, it didn't move forward. I mean, it was growing backwards. So I was like, you know what? Like, let me just run over to Walmart, grab what I need to grab, and I'll come back. Like, the line will probably be died down by then. So I run to Walmart. I get what I need to get, and I'm just like, okay, la 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 la. On my merry little way, I go back to the bank. No, right? Long story short. So I'm inching up, and at this point I was like, well, I gotta deposit this freaking check. So long story short, I go, and I'm probably like, there's somebody up with the lady, there's somebody in front of me, and then I'm next. So I'm like the third person. And I mean, when I say, like, it's a line, like, it is a line, and we have all been standing there. Like, at this point, I think I didn't get up to the teller the second time. I stood in line for an hour, okay? Like, a hot freaking minute, right? And I'm over here, like, trying to be positive, trying not to get mad, trying to be understanding, It was not happening. Like, at that point, like, I was just so... But I'm just, like, trying to bite my tongue, not be mean. Until, right? This lady opens the freaking bank door, looks in, turns around and goes, this is a bunch of BS, right? Before I could freaking stop myself, I turn around, I mean loudly, like not soft, not quiet, not your normal tone, no, loud, freaking loud. I'm like, yep. And after that, I'm like, oh my gosh, Naomi, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, just deposit this check. Just, you know, you need to get yourself home because, like, you are not in a good headspace. And, yeah. So then, you know, I get done at the bank. I'm in my car and literally, like, I'm not even out of the parking lot of the bank. And my boss calls me and he's like, hey, you know, like, are you out? Now at this point, you know, I'm like, my poor boss, when I say like he got the wrath to the point where he was like, because he was like, he told me I needed to email over an invoice to one of these builders. And he probably should have realized, like, this builder, I will bend over backwards for. Like, I love this builder. But, like, he just... And I did apologize to him later on. He caught me at a wrong freaking time. Like, and as soon as he said the builder's name, like I said, the builder's name, so-and-so needs, you know, this invoice resent. And I was getting nasty. Like, he should have, like, known, like, we just need to, like, leave her alone. Let her, like, chill out, right? And, I mean, I freaking, like, went off. I'm like, I don't know what happened to all that peace, love, and freaking sunshine from the beach. But on Friday, like, I was like, no. So he wound up turning around and he was like, you know what? He's like, I can't deal with this right now. And he hung up, you know, and I don't blame him because looking back on it, like he caught the wrath and it wasn't his fault. It wasn't the builder's fault, you know, and this one builder, like, they are freaking amazing. Like I said, not in a good headspace. So, yeah. So then, you know, I was like sitting here and I think Friday was also like Cinco de Mayo. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm tired of just like always sitting at home. I'm like, let me go out and do something. And I was like, well, maybe I'll go to the bar. I thought about that. About, you know, like, do you really want to be going to the bar by yourself? Like, girlfriend, do you know what state you live in? Like, you live in freaking Florida, okay? Like, just pay attention after I say this, right? Because I guarantee you. How many true crime stories, you know, or like unsolved mysteries that it starts off with? And in Florida, and in Florida, and in Florida, right? You're going to notice it now. I'm just saying. You're going to notice it now, right? And my dumb butt's like, let's go out to the bar by yourself, right? Thank goodness some type of, like, common sense came back into my head. I did not go to the bar by myself. I am, you know, glad to say I had more sense than that. I was like, you know, I'm like, well, I'm also hungry. I'm like, maybe I should get something to eat. So I was like, well, what do I want to eat? And I was like, I don't know. So I was like, I'll take myself out for like my birthday and get a drink. But I was like, well, what do I want to eat? And I was like, well, you know, there's Cracker Barrel. Like, I love their chicken and dumplings. Like, I could eat them until like I puked and go back for more. Like, I'm just saying. But I was like, I don't think Cracker Barrel has alcohol, and I don't know, but it was just like, I just wanted to drink, you know, just like for my birthday. So I was like, ooh, Outback has the blooming onion, right? So I was like, well, you know, like, I'll just go to the bar at Outback and, you know, just have like 1 or 2 drinks, you know, get a blooming onion, be done with it, right? So I drive down there, you know, and I get out and I'm like, I can't believe you're doing this. And I'm like, who cares? I'm like, who freaking cares? What, you're going to be sitting there like by yourself? Who freaking cares, right? So, and also, you know, I figure, like I said, I might have said this last week, like the whole dating app thing and this whole just dating in this, whatever you want to call it, like, it hurts my brain. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, you know, just kind of start going out, and I don't know, maybe I just run into somebody at this point. So, you know, I go, and when I walked in, the lady was like, oh, you know, how many, you know, are you waiting? And I'm like, nope, I'm just here by myself. I'm taking myself out for my birthday. And she was like, okay, you know, we'll pick wherever you want. So I picked the one table, and it was like, kind of like in the bar area, but not the bar. So my freaking waitress, like, oh my gosh, when I say she was amazing, like, I freaking love her. I love her. It's funny because, you know, I was like telling her like why I was there, and like she gave me like a high five, and she's like, I'm proud of you, dude. Like, and she was like so bubbly and happy, and I was like, damn girl, like you don't even know me. There's a reason, right? So come to find out, she's also like a life coach. And it was funny because we would be like just sitting there talking, and she'd be like, she's like, I could sit here all day and talk. She's like, but I gotta go check on these other tables. And I mean, it'd be like a couple times, you know, like throughout while I was there. And I wasn't there like long, but what turned into, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna have a just like, you know, two beers and a blooming onion turned into, I'm gonna have 2 of these, I think they were called Aussie Jossies, where it's like they had this like shot in this plastic shark. I got 2 of them. I got a steak. I got lobster macaroni and cheese. I got the blooming onion. Of course I got the blooming onion. I think a salad. It came with the bread. I think that's all I got. Like, I didn't get dessert. And I'm like, why didn't you get dessert? I'm not a big dessert person. So, yeah, well, here, like, she was freaking amazing. Like, I loved her. Like, when I first got there, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was a little nervous, you know, and she made me feel so freaking comfortable. And like I said, here, come to find out, she's a life coach, you know, and she was telling me like, and she was like telling, and I was like, you know, I'm like, I would love to say that I would remember this, because she told me to go like look her up on YouTube, and she's on TikTok and the whole, you know, I freaking love her, like love her to death. Like, I want to go back to Outback. Like, she's gonna turn into like a Gabriel, right? Like, I'm gonna be going to Outback, and I'll be like, yeah, where is she at? Like, oh, she doesn't have any more tables? Like, well, you better tell somebody to move. Like, she is so amazing. Like, she is one of them people that, like, you just want to be around all the time. All the time. I love her. And it was funny because with the drinks, I wasn't sure, like, if you could keep the sharks that, you know, came with the drinks. And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, good, because this is Bruce and this is Tony, right? I named the freaking sharks, Bruce and Tony. So I now have these 2, like, toy plastic sharks. But I kept them just kind of, like, as a reminder of, like, you know, sometimes, like, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Like, or you're just going to be, like, the same person. You just need to step out of that comfort zone and realize, you know what, like, this isn't so bad. Yeah. So that was Friday, you know, and then like I came home, and what did I do? I think I watched something on Netflix, and I just like I went to bed. Saturday, I got up. What time did I get up? I don't think it was. Yeah, I got up with the first alarm, and that's like what I've been trying to do here lately, instead of just like hitting snooze. Like, am I 100% great at it? No, but like I don't need to be setting 3-4 alarms, and just keep hitting snooze. And I'm like, you need to get your life together, Naomi. Like, get your freaking life together. So I think the first alarm on the weekends, I'm like, look, I'll let you sleep till 10:30, girlfriend. All right, because usually I'm kind of up late on Friday nights. So I got up with the first alarm, and like I took Roscoe out. And sorry, I'm just trying to pay attention to this weaving in these ends. I fucking hate it. Have I said how much I hate weaving in ends? What am I doing? Which way am I going? This way. Hold on. Give me a second. And then, I kind of like cleaned up my house a little bit. And then like usually somewhere like in between cleaning or after I get done cleaning, I'll like record like little 1-minute, dance things, and post them on Instagram, to like get you guys going for like the Saturday dance party. Well, since I was like burnt, since I decided that I was gonna be like a rotisserie chicken that was like stuck on the wheel and it wasn't gonna turn, and I like burnt my freaking front. Yeah, see, now it's like, it's not burnt, and it's like it's peeling, and we'll get into that, right? So I was like, you know what, like let me just take a walk around the block. And that was my intention. I was like, maybe 2 blocks, you know what I mean? And as I got out there, I was just like, you know what, like just go a little bit further. I'm like, and then you just like turn around, come back, well, that turned into, I think it was, I have it mapped out or whatever, it was like 2.4 miles that I walked. And I loved it. I freaking loved it. Like I used to do it all the time in Pennsylvania. I used to go and like walk my mom. I would call it walking my mom. She would text me or call me, and she'd be like, are you gonna walk your mama today? And I'm like, okay, I get done work at this time, and I would meet her at this one park in Pennsylvania, and it has like, okay, if you do this loop, and for one big loop it was a mile, so I would make her do 3 miles. Yes, I was mean. But let me tell you, she would try to cheat. She'd be like, oh, well, can't we just walk this? I'd be like, yeah, but then that's not a mile. Then we'd have to walk that loop twice instead of just doing one big loop. But there were sometimes you couldn't do the big loop because you would like walk around and it takes you down this like dirt path, and the dirt path kind of goes around it's not like a reservoir, I don't know, like some pond, and some of the months, like it is most mosquito crazy and you will get eaten alive. So you just kind of avoid that, and you're just like, okay, we're just going to loop around this many times, and we're just going to skip that altogether. So I enjoyed it, and I came home. Now, of course, like I'm sweaty and all that. So when I come in and the AC hits me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. So I'm like peeling off, like my sweaty clothing. And I look down, now just my stomach area. And I think it's because normally, like when I was at the beach, I had like a bikini on, where my stomach is not usually like, I don't expose it to the sun. Like if I do, it's at the beach. So when I say like, this part got like, if you thought last week like this was bad, oh no. Like my stomach was like bad. It got burnt because it was like the whitest, like where this is like, some of it was a little, but it's also used to like just everyday Florida life, like with a tank top, where like this part it was already tan, so it wasn't, not my bully. No, not my bully. So when I left, like I said, the only thing was, it was just, and it was like burnt, but it was what it was, so I decided to go for a walk. So I come back, and I'm laying on the couch, and I'm just like, eh. And I look down, and on my stomach, there's like these like little, almost like blisters, like forming all over my stomach, except on like both sides, there were like these kind of like bigger ones. And I'm like, is that sun poisoning? And I'm like, there's no flipping freaking way that's sun poisoning. I'm like, because that would have already happened, and it wasn't like that when I went for a walk. And when I was walking, I had that all covered up. So I'm like, what the hell is it, right? So of course, you know, I take pictures of it, and I send it to Allison, because, you know, she'll know, right? So I sent it to Allison, and I'm like, what in the good Lord is this? Now, I know she's working, so I know she can't, like, reply back right away. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, it looks like sun poisoning, but I'm like, there's no flipping way it can be sun poisoning. So here, you know, she calls me on her way home. She's been calling me lately every time she works. And, which I don't mind. I freaking love talking to her. She, you know, since she moved, she lives further away from work. So, yeah. So she calls me, and on her way home from work, you know, and I'm telling her about it. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. And I was like, I thought, you know, like, you might know, you know, since you're a mom. And she turns around to me and she goes, well, you're a mom too. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. But, you know, you're like a newer mom compared to me. You know, she started laughing, and I freaking love her, you know. And we were talking about how, you know, like, since my birthday, like, I decided, like, I'm focusing on me, like, instead of being, like, scared to go out of the house, you know, like, just go out and do it. Just go out and do it. So I turned around to her and I was like, yeah, I'm like, you remember, like, the dude that I was supposed to go fishing with? And, you know, you were all worried, you know, like, you told me, do you know what state you live in? And I was like, yeah. So, you know, you were worried about me, you know, like, being found, you know, floating in the water somewhere. I'm like, now you don't have to worry about that. I'm like, now you got to be like, you know, she decided she was going to, you know, go out and explore and just do her own thing, and she never returned. She was like, oh, God, Naomi, like, would you stop? But it's, I mean, she knows I'm not, I mean, you can't, I don't know. I'm pretty aware of my surroundings, and I'm not a sissy, so. But yeah, so I found that kind of, you know, humorous that, you know, she's worried about me dating and going fishing with some dude that wound up freaking ghosting me anyway. And I'm out here now, you know, like, let me just take myself out and do things by myself, you know, where nobody knows where I'm at. Let me just stop right there. And she's over here telling me, you know, like, I'm so proud of you. Oh, I freaking love her. Oh, yes. Let's see. Yeah, so I talked about that. About the fear controlling me. Yeah, so Sunday, right? So when I was out walking on Saturday, and I've kind of noticed this prior, where when I'm out in public, like, I have a tendency that I don't make eye contact. I have a like, I look down, and there's a reason for it. Can you hold on? Sorry about that. Roscoe was, like, scratching, and he was driving me freaking insane. Where was I? Oh, yeah, so, like, I put my head down, like, I don't make eye contact. And I'm like, you know, you need to stop that. I'm like, you need to pick your head up. I'm like, just pick your freaking head up. Like, why are you looking down? Pick your freaking head up. So that's kind of like what I've been working on this week. You know, as I say this, I have my head down. But I'm trying to thread this thing into this already bent needle from the last time I had to sew a freaking moose butt onto this type of blanket. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I've been trying to work on this week. Is just like, you know, when I went to the bank this week, I had my head up. When I was at Walmart on Monday, like every time I would, and I'm not going to say like I catch it all the time, you know what I mean? Because it's something that when I do catch it, like I try to, I don't want to say correct it, you know, because that doesn't sound, but like I try to change it. Like I'm aware of it and I'm like, no, pick your head up. Like pick your head up. Make eye contact. Like you're allowed to look around, right? So yeah, that's, like I said, what I've been working on this week. Let's get into the conversation of my mama, right? I don't know if she's watching this. Are you watching this, the mama? I love you. So, as you all know, my mother was supposed to come over and did not. So she calls me on Monday as I'm, you know, sitting downstairs working. You want to know where she's at? You'll never guess. She was in Virginia. Was she in Virginia? I don't know. She was driving to Pennsylvania. That's what she was doing. Now do you see what I'm saying about my mom? That it's like she could be in one state and then like she could have gone, she was going up to Pennsylvania to get her stuff out of this storage unit. So, yeah, she called me and she was like, oh yeah, she was like, I just wanted to let you know I'm driving up to Pennsylvania. I'm like, are you crazy? Because she's doing it by herself. And I'm not saying that it's not possible, because I've done it, I can't tell you how many times. But she was also telling me, she's like, this is crazy. She's like, you're not moving anywhere, And now she doesn't drive at night. She'll like pull over, get a hotel, all that. Where I'm like, no, we're driving through the freaking night. We'll pull over during the day when it's people-y outside and get back on the road at night, you know, or in the mid-afternoon. So she's like, it's taking me forever. And I remember when I drove up there in, the end of January, the construction, I don't know if you guys, you know, if you watch that Wip Chat or not, the construction on like 95 is so ridiculous. Like I remember even thinking like, because it took me almost like with the pulling over and sleeping for like 4 hours, you know, each way, it was like almost 24 hours, you know, of being in the car driving. And I'm like, it never, like ever took me that long to drive from like Pennsylvania down to Florida and Florida, you know, up to Pennsylvania. And, you know, I realized, I was like, well, there's a lot of freaking construction going on right now. And like I said, like at one point I remember even like being on like 95 and they have you get off and like reroute you on some funky like back road to have you get back onto 95. So I'm like, that's probably what it is. I'm like, they're probably still doing like construction. I'll probably be for like a couple years. Motherfucker. Well, I don't know. I'm flying up this time. So the only thing is just trying to get everything to fit into my dang suitcase. That's the problem. Like I pack way too much. And I got to bring this and Chicky Nuggies, picture coasters, and then I gotta bring, it's not like, and I don't know, June in Pennsylvania. It's not like Florida, like where it'll be warm, but there still might, like, I don't know, I might need to bring jeans. It's, see, here I go. I'm overpacking and I still have like another 3 weeks, month. How many weeks? Maybe a little more than a month, you know. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with like videos, that because it's more or less just like a long weekend. So I might not do a Savage story time. You know, I think that depends on when I leave. Like if I fly out on a Thursday, I probably won't have a Savage story time for that Saturday. If I fly out on Friday, I might, because Wednesday I do the Whip Chat. So I should be able to get the Whip Chat done. I probably won't do a Savage story time. I think by then, I should have the unboxings done. If not, there won't be any unboxings, you know, until, I don't know, I guess like the following week when I get back, you know, and get back into the swing of things. But like I said, I'm not driving, so that's good. I'm a little upset about that because I want to stop at Buc-ee's. Like, I really freaking like Buc-ee's. Damn, Shay. Damn you. Ooh. I'm sorry. I did not mean that. My bad. Darn you, you son of a biscuit eater. Like, you had to bring up the Buc-ee nuggets how many freaking months ago, almost a year ago, and driving to Pennsylvania, and whoop, there's a Buc-ee's. Did I have to stop? No, but I stopped because, yeah. So let me cut this moose's butt, right? But be careful so his little beans don't fall out his butt. Let's see. So what else happened on Monday? So yes, I talked to my mother. She was heading to Pennsylvania. I don't know if she's made it there yet. I haven't heard from her. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to try to cut that. That's going to be a pain in the butt. What else? Oh, so Monday, you know, I go to the bank. And of course, you know, I have Gabriel. Because, I mean, honestly, like, if I don't have a choice, then, you know, I'll go to the other teller. But let me tell you, like, she knows. Like, she knows if it could, because, and there has been times it has come down to that he's available and she's available, and I got to walk right past her to go to Gabriel. And I'm like, no offense, but I'm going to Gabriel. Like, he knows me longer. Right? And I mean, and that's honestly it. There's nothing wrong with this other teller. You know, it's just, no, I mean, I guess she's the newest one there, because there was two other ladies, and I know the one left. The other one supposedly was like, I don't know, taking care of herself. Like, she was sick and she would be back, and that was, I can't tell you how many months ago. So this one teller, like, no, you know, like, she's grown on me, but it will always be Gabriel. And let me tell you, like, I've been going to that branch for probably about like a year, little over a year and some months now. And like, I remember when Gabriel was new, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not mean, disrespectful, but like, I prefer my people, you know, like, especially on a Monday, because that's just, it's crazy, chaotic. They kind of know what to expect, you know, when I go in there, where these other people are like, well, you know, you can deposit it at the ATM, or they just do what I need to be done, you know. And like I said, in Gabriel, he caught on real quick, and as you guys know, me and Gabriel can talk about freaking anything, like anything. I don't even know. He asks about you guys, you know, and I tell him that you guys ask about him, and I swear he's like, oh, he's so polite. He really is. Gabriel is the macaroni and cheese. And I'm so excited for him that he asked his girlfriend to marry him. You know, and I'm trying to think. I'm like, did he tell me? I'm like, because that sounds like something like he would tell me. And he might have, and I don't know, I forgot. No, I wouldn't forget something like that. I'm going to see him on Friday. Well, I don't know. I might not be going to the banks anymore. Or at least, well, I'll go on Monday, but maybe not on Fridays anymore, because my boss has realized, like, it's been taking a long time at the bank here recently. Like, and it's not, like, it's the freaking bank. And my boss knows that because, you know, he's got to go to the bank too. And it's like the same up around his area. So it's not just down here. And he's like, nobody just wants to work anymore. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, it's just, it's crazy. It's nuts. And I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, that was Monday. This might be like more of a short whipping chat. So Tuesday, which is yesterday for me, it'd be 2 days once you guys see this on Thursday for you. I ran to the post office, and I went to the post office today too. I ran to the post office because I had to mail something out. And what did I do there? And when I say, like, everybody and their mother, like their mothers, cousins, uncles, freaking veterinarians, like gynecologist was there. Okay, like everybody was there. And I needed to fill out this like sticker thing to put on this envelope to mail up to Pennsylvania. And I couldn't do it till I got there because, yeah, I don't know. I was a dumb butt and didn't grab it, you know, when I grabbed the envelope. So I go to like fill it out, and the only open like table was like all the way in the back. And I was like, that's fine. But of course the pen don't freaking work, right? So I'm like, oh gosh. So I had to stand around and wait for like one of the tables to open just so I could write this down. And sorry, I'm just trying to find where I poked this moose in the butt. Come on, there we go. Ouch. When I say, if Chicky Nuggy steals this one from Moose, like, I'm gonna have to like go on a, because I don't know, like cutting this moose heads off it just seems too small with this blanket. I'm gonna have to go like on a moose stuffed animal adventure to try to like find the kind of size moose that I need, because it's either like they're either too small or they're too big, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need like a 6-foot freaking moose. Like, I just need like, you're just a regular size, you know, stuffed animal moose that, you know, the head will be normal. Because that, honestly, that was real easy with Chicky Nuggies, because it was more or less, I didn't have to actually poke into the whole stuffed animal. And I just kind of like sewed up the bunny's head as I was like sewing it onto the little Whoopie. And then yesterday, while I was sitting at work, like, I thought, like, you know, like, it'd be nice to kind of, like, go to the beach and watch the sunset. And I was like, you know, maybe, like, I think that's what I'll do. Well, it didn't happen, and it's not going to happen today, you know, and that's fine. But I think maybe, I don't know about Thursday. I think it depends on when the guy gets here to pick up the checks. But if not, like, by Friday, I'm driving myself down to the beach to sit on the beach and watch the sunset. Because when I say, like, it is so freaking pretty. Like, the different colors that, like, yes, so that is on my, like, to-do bucket list. So if you don't hear from me and there is no Savage Story Time, you know what happened. Just send them out to the beach, and tell them to look for me, because I didn't come back because I decided I was going to be, you know, adventurous and go out by myself to the beach at dark, at night. I guess it's not night. I guess it'd be dusk, right? And technically, the beach is open until I think the sign says 10 p.m. You know, and obviously that's dark. Now I'm no dummy. I ain't going to the beach by myself at 10 p.m. No, that's when like some real just crazy stuff happens. Like, no, thank you. I've seen enough true crime to know. You're not getting me with that, Sherlock Holmes. No, thank you. So yes, that is on my to-do list. So look out for those pictures. But what I have been doing here lately, and I really like it, is, what am I doing? Sorry. It's just like, once I get this mousse halfway on, it makes life 10 times easier. But what I've been doing here lately is, like, I just sit out on my back porch. And when I say, like, the stuff I see, the animals I see, like, it fascinates me. And I just sit there, you know, like on the lanai, and I just watch them. Like, there was this one squirrel. Like I said, it's not Mr. Squirrel. I think I told you guys what happened to Mr. Squirrel. And I think I know who did it. And I hope they popped their tires. And I'm not changing that negative thought either. So, there's this other squirrel. And I have, like, originally it was just kind of like one pile. Like, when it was Mr. Squirrel, there was the one pile. And I don't know if this is the squirrel that, like, Mr. Squirrel used to chase off. But this squirrel, so I think there's 3 total, but usually I only see 2 of them. Once in a blue moon, I'll see, you know, all 3 of them out together. Like, this squirrel does not want anybody, like, in the yard. Does not care if it's a squirrel. Does not care if it's a bird. Like, I've seen the squirrel chase the birds away. So then, like, the one squirrel, like, I felt bad. Like, it wanted some of the treats that I'm leaving out there. So I put it, like, on the other corner, you know, so that the fence can just, the fence can. The squirrel can just, like, scurry down the fence, you know, and get his little treats. This squirrel is, like, on the other side. If they see that squirrel come over, like, they're running, chasing them off. If a bird drops down, you know, to, like, peck and eat, like, chasing them off. I'm like, damn, like, what is your problem? But yeah, so I've seen the 3 squirrels. There's 2, like, I don't know if they're not blue jays, but they're definitely, like, they're freaking blue birds. There's 2 of them. And I've seen the birds go after the squirrels. So I think there might be, like, a nest. And I keep meaning to check out my bedroom window. And I keep forgetting to look on the roof of the porch to see if there's, like, a bird's nest up there. Because the one time, like, the squirrel went up the tree. And I watched it. And then I knew it, like, jumped. And it was on the porch, like, the roof above me. And all of a sudden, like, this squirrel came, like, flying, jumping, and the birds, like, dive bombing them. I'm like, ooh, there must be, like, a nest up there or something. And then it's like, you know, there's the lizards, and yeah, they're starting to come more alive. I have not seen any, you know, funny activity from them, at least not yet. I still do have the Love Shack though behind me, so we shall see if I need to put it out. But honestly, I'm afraid to put it out because it's not weatherproof. But honestly, I mean, like, what am I gonna do? Like, just have this, like, Love Shack that I made for the lizards just, like, sitting in my craft room? I'm like, put it outside. Let the weather destroy it. Like, who cares? This is the way my brain thinks, right? I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. Let me know, guys. Should I put the lizard Love Shack outside and just let the lizards use it for what I made it for them for? So I hopefully don't keep walking outside this summer, running into what I ran into last summer, because that was just getting freaking ridiculous. But I think that was, when did that start? I think that might have been in like June or July, because I think I saw it like twice before. Maybe it was July, the end of June. Because I saw it twice before I went up to Pennsylvania, and then once when I came back from Pennsylvania. And then, you know, it hit the rainy season. But yeah, I don't freaking know. I don't know. I should probably just stick it outside. But I'm like, I'd have to put it out back, because I don't think the HOA would like, you know, a little thing that says Lizard Love Shack sitting out front of my house. Oh man, but I'm pretty sure that the squirrel would probably take it over, and it would become like, whatever that squirrel is. Like, I know the one squirrel that's smaller. I call that one Peanut. The other one, I don't know. And then there's one that, I don't know if it's a female and she's pregnant, but like, when I say like, she will like lay her body like and just lounge, and her belly just like hangs and droops in between the slots. I call her Mama. The big one I call Mama. But yeah. And then that brings us to today, which is Wednesday for me. My sister-in-law texted me over some like dates, and I was like, oh, you know, I need to talk to my boss. I don't think it'll be a problem, because she was like, well, you know, there's Thursday. So, and this is, and I don't mind, you know, like I said, originally it was, because the christening is on a Sunday. So to like, and I don't know what time the christening is, but that's a lot to get ready for a christening. You know, there'll probably be like a get together afterwards. You know, try to get everything packed and ready and get to the airport, have somebody take me to the airport. Like, it's just, that's a lot. So that's when she was like, you know, well, do you think, you know, you'd be able to like fly out Monday? And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a problem. And then she texted me, and she's like, well, I got this, you know, like, there's this one really good deal, you know, but you would have to fly out on, you know, leave Florida on Thursday. And then, you know, there's one that leaves at 6 a.m. on Monday, or there's Tuesday at like noon and I'm like, stop. And I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm laughing, and I'm like, I don't know about, you know, but I have vacation days. Like, I could use vacation days, and just, you know, if I do anything else, I want to do anything else, like, I still have sick days. Like, so what the good Lord did I do over here? Like, I don't even know what I did, how I did it, like, but I did it, like, good gravy, right? But so I don't know if I'll be seeing Allison this trip up, only because of the like days and all that. You know, she works, and the only day that she is off is, Wednesday and Sunday, because it's illegal to sell a car in Pennsylvania. I mean, I don't know if that's all states, but it's illegal to sell a car, like off of a lot in Pennsylvania on a Sunday. I don't know who came up with that rule. When I say like, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. So my other best friend, Danielle, she's the one that has all the pug puppies. I see what I did. I gotta come back out with this. Oh, this is gonna be fun. She texted me over this video and was like, we have to do this. So, and I hadn't told her yet, because she's busy with like moving, and she's got things going on. And I was like, and I think she tagged me in it. And I turned around and was like, I messaged her, because obviously I don't want everybody seeing like when I'm going to be in Pennsylvania. Not that, anyhow. I messaged her and I was like, well, I got some good news for you. I'm like, I'm going to be up in Pennsylvania, you know, like, I don't know, like, the 100% exact dates of, like, okay, I'm flying in on this day at this time, like, flying out this day at this time. But this is, you know, kind of like what it looks like, you know, and on this day, like, on Sunday is the christening, so I'll be, you know, like, not doing jack diddly. And she's like, okay, she's like, let me know. She's like, I'll drive up and where my brother lives to like where she lives. It's not far. It's not far, but it's not like right around the corner where if I was like staying at my sister's house. So, yeah. So my brother lives closer to actually like Jersey, really. Okay, so how did we do this? Come up this way. Right. Sorry, I'm just over here like trying not to do that same thing that I just did. But yeah, so I'm excited to see her. Jesus, Mary and Saint Joseph, pray for us sinners, right? Okay. But you know what, guys? With that said, I'm going to hop on out of here so I can actually sew this moose's butt onto this Whoopie and really, like, struggle with it. I know this is kind of shorter than normal. I'm sorry, guys. But with that said, I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!